So you watched my last video about the IEI public offer. Maybe you applied, maybe you're thinking about it, but here's something I didn't explain and it is very important. When the offer closes on June 11th, you will not be able to access your shares immediately. You will not see them in your portfolio the next day, you will not be able to sell them the next week, and in some cases, you might receive an email that confuses you completely and make you think something has gone wrong. Today, I'm going to walk you through the entire process, what happens after a public offer closes, what to expect and what not to panic about, and what to do if you get a specific email about something called a demat form. I'm using my own real experience with the Initiate PLC to show you exactly how this works, including the email I received yesterday. Stay with me, this is important. I am Victoria Abioye, Money, Mindsets and Life. Let's get into it. When a public offer closes, the company and the advisor begin a process called allotment or allocation. During this process, they review every single application that came in, verify payments and documentation, decide how many shares each applicant receives, especially if the offer was oversubscribed, meaning more people applied than there were shares available. Then, they register all the allocated shares with the Central Security Clearing System, the CSCS. The CSCS is essentially Nigeria's central database for all stock management investments. Every share you own in Nigeria is recorded there. Only after all of that do these shares appear in your stockbroking account, and this entire process typically takes between 3 to 6 months in Nigeria. So, if you apply for IEI before June 11th, do not expect to see those shares before the end of 2026. That is completely normal. That is the process. Do not panic. Let me show you exactly what this looks like in real life using my own investment in the Initiate PLC tip. In January 2026, I applied for shares during their public offer. The offer price was 9 naira 50 kobo per share. Applied, I paid, and waited for 5 to 6 months. Nothing. Those shares were not in my portfolio. I could not trade them. I could not see them anywhere. If I didn't understand the allocation process, I might have panicked. I might have thought my money was lost, but I knew the process, so I waited. Now, let me tell you what happened to the price while I waited. When I applied at 9 naira 50 kobo per shares, by the time allocation began, the stock was around 14 naira. That's a 47% gain before I could even touch them. And the price kept climbing. About 2 weeks ago, TIF shares were trading around 37 to 38 naira, hitting an all-time high of 42.30 naira on May 11, 2026. From 9 naira 50 kobo to 42 naira 30 kobo, that is nearly a 300% return simply by waiting. Right now, the stock is experiencing a dip at around 27 naira 90 kobo, which is still a 194% gain from my entry price. That dip is normal. All stocks dip. I am not selling, I am patient, and you should be too. Now, here is where it gets really interesting and really useful for you. Yesterday, I received an email from TIP Registrar, and at first glance, it looks like something went wrong. The email said your CSCS account details, including your clearing house number and stockbroker information, were found to be incorrect or inactive. Consequently, your allotted units have been credited to a registrar identification number, a RIN account at the CSCS. Now, what does this mean in plain English? Your shares have been allocated, they exist, they are yours, but they could not be deposited into your stockbroking account because there was a mismatch in the details. So they are sitting in a holding account called RIN account, waiting for you to claim them. To get them released into your portfolio, you need to fill in something called a dematerialization form, also called a demat form. This form asks for your correct clearinghouse number, your CHN, your correct stockbroker details. Once you fill in the demat form correctly and send it back to the registrar, your shares will be transferred into your portfolio. So, here is the complete pictures of what to expect after you apply for a public offer in Nigeria. 1. After the offer closes, wait patiently. Allocation takes 3 to 6 months. That is normal. 2. Watch your email during this period. The registrar may contact you with updates or requests. Don't ignore emails from your broker or the registrar. 3. If you get a demat form email, don't panic. Your shares are safe. Just fill in the form with your correct CHN and stockbroker details and send it back. 4. Never invest money you need urgently because of this waiting period. Only invest money you can afford to leave for at least 6 to 12 months. 5. Patience is the strategy. TIP went from 9 naira 50 kobo to over 14 naira, nearly 300%. Not because I was a genius, but because I understood the process and I waited. Stock market rewards patience, and it rewards people who understand the process. I shared my real tip experience, the waiting, the email, the demat form, all of it because I want you to be prepared, not just inspired, prepared. If you apply for IEI, now you know exactly what to expect, and when that emails come, you know exactly what to do. Drop a comment below. Are you applying for IEI, or have you ever received a confusing email about your shares and didn't know what to do? Tell me. I read every comment. Share this video on your WhatsApp status. There's someone in your contact right now who applied for IEI and needs to see this. Subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me everywhere. I am the Victoria Abioye. I'll see you in the next video. Let's keep building.